the Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television series that helps military veterans find jobs and transition into meaningful careers. I'm Lauren Wanko. Today we're speaking with companies that are actively recruiting veterans and with organizations who serve the military community. We're also speaking with veterans like you who've made successful transitions into the civilian workforce. We'll help connect you to job openings and give you the information to get you the job you deserve. Log on to our website, hiringamerica.net, for more information and connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Now let me tell you a little story about this bracelet. In the Army, I was thrown into a helicopter mechanic role, which wasn't hard at first. I mean, you know, banker, mechanic, kind of the same thing. The biggest thing was, you know, I walked right into a male-dominated role. And imagine how that worked out at first. A bunch of guys being told what to do by this little thing that's yay big, right? It wasn't easy. It was difficult. I was scared. It was actually Chief Warrant Officer Donald Clark. Right there, that's him. He was one of our more experienced pilots. Actually, not even in my unit, like not even in my company. He didn't have to talk to me. He just, I don't know, just came out of nowhere. He actually coached me through, you know, the process of dealing with this, you know, really difficult challenge I had. He taught me not just how to lead these guys, how to relate to them, have them respect me for my leadership style, which, trust me, was very different. He made a huge impact on me because, you know, he taught me the importance of creating long-term career goals and how to charge towards achieving them. I remember one time he told me that there was no barrier between my goals except myself. Now back to this bracelet. My unit deployed to Iraq in 2008. I was part of the DART team, or the Down Aircraft Recovery Team, and I was in charge of the maintenance team if one of those went down. November 15th, 2008, about 3 weeks later. And mind you, I was an hour and a half away from Mosul. We received a call in our radio, big thing, that we had an aircraft down. That's all we hear. We don't know who it is. Who it was, who was involved, anything. Still, you're like you always do it, just like you're trained. I got my team ready, waited on the radio to know if Mosul needed us. Hour and a half drive, heck, I could make it, right? I waited, and I waited, and then the news came. I don't know if you've ever seen a veteran wear a memorial bracelet like this. A lot of us have one of these. This one's mine. And it carries CW3 Donald B. Clark's name. No amount of training, no amount of drills, can really ever prepare you for something like that. And it's kind of silly, a little bit, maybe tiny irrational, feeling guilty for not being there. The hardest thing is stepping in and going to that memorial service. And as I raised my right hand to salute him one last time, I made him a promise that I would never forget and that I would always honor his memory. By helping others like he helped me, he doesn't just touch my life, but everyone whom I touch, everyone whom I speak, everyone whom I help. He believed in me, all 501 of me. He coached me to be a better person, not because he had to, because he didn't have to, but because he saw potential in me. Standing here, I see potential in each and every single one of you. I know that you have the spirit to make a difference for a military veteran who needs your help. Because you can be a change agent. You can be a mentor. You can offer yourself and your skills to someone who has helped serve our country. If you're ready, I will be your coach and your inspiration. Just as Chief Clark was for me. Because once upon a time, someone helped Chief Clark to become the kind, patient, and encouraging man who helped me. And I'm driven every day to make an impact on someone else. So I stand here today asking you to become a ripple of hope with me, so that together we can make a difference for the hundreds of thousands of veterans who are unemployed and underemployed. Because as HR professionals, we can make a difference. I know that I made the right decision to pursue a career in HR and stand behind the Sherms Foundation's Veteran Hiring Initiative. It's just the right thing to do and the smart thing to do. Because of that, I know that as veterans, we served our country. We bled for our country. Some of us even died for our country. Now it is up to us veterans to partner with HR pros in our communities to rebuild our country, to build on the legacy given to us by remarkable soldiers like Chief Clark, to use what we learned to help grow our economy through corporate America, to help bring back jobs to this nation that we love, to create and innovate so we can make the U.S. better for future generations. Thank you.
Continue the conversation on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and sign up to receive our newsletter at hiringamerica.net.
Hiring America will be back in a moment.
I'm Mike Slaw. I'm hosted today by Edgar Pabon at Hack Reactor. Edgar is a former Army armor officer and went through the program here at Hack Reactor. So describe for our audience what Hack Reactor is and sort of the program that you went through here after your time in the military.
Yeah, so Hack Reactor is basically a software engineering immersion program. And what that means is they're a program that basically helps people to learn a lot more about the fundamentals of programming specific to web development. So they teach you a lot specific to languages like JavaScript, and you go a lot more in depth into very specific frameworks that are used, in sort of web development today. It's definitely not a thing for, beginners. They sort of take people who have been studying on their own for a while and are ready to sort of take that to the next level and accelerate their careers as software engineers.
Okay, so what was your time like when you were in the program? Describe the experience.
Yeah, so Hack Reactor is a very intense program. It's 3 months long, and it's 6 days a week while you're going through the program. And even during those days, You start at 9 a.m. and then you finish up at 8 p.m. And by no means is 8 p.m. the end time where you just get to call it quits and go home. You're free to do that, but a lot of people usually end up staying a lot later because they're just so involved in what they're doing with their particular sprint, and they're just trying to.
So it's like a total immersion.
Yeah.
Like around the clock.
It is complete immersion.
Feels a little bit like a boot camp.
It is very much a boot camp. A lot of people are even working on Sundays, so it pretty much is like 7 days a week, all in.
For folks that are transitioning or considering a transition from the military, what sort of like really tactical recommendations can you give to them if they're just starting to explore, maybe they don't have much of a software background, and they're trying to make a very big leap, a very big transition, on a couple fronts.
So if you decide, for example, that you want to use the GI Bill and study in some sort of university program to learn more about like computer science or software engineering or something like that, then that's certainly a great path for people to follow. If you want to do the more accelerated, intense kind of thing, I do think you should look into online like resources, into just like the same types of resources I used, which is like CoderByte and Code Wars and Code Academy. I mean, there's just so many different resources that you can learn from if you just like put a little bit effort into looking out there. And that's only just the beginning of it. And once you get into that, I certainly think programs like Hack Reactor are so worth it in so many different ways. I mean, I can't imagine a faster way to become, an engineer, to have gone from, especially the career that I've had, to go from being an Army officer in a specialty that was not related to tech at all, to suddenly being an engineer at a place like Amazon. I mean, that within, a year, that's incredible.
Nuts,
and that wouldn't have been possible without a program like Hack Reactor. So I definitely think, coding boot camps are worth it, even though it seems like they're a lot of money, and sadly, a lot of them don't have, the ability to be funded by like the GI Bill, but even still, I think it's worth it.
There are a lot of open source and free online resources to learn to code. What was it about Hack Reactor, the specific course of instruction, that sort of drew you to go a little bit deeper?
I had done a lot of research on a lot of different coding boot camps, and there seems like there's a lot of really good schools out there, but the one consistent thing I kept seeing in all of my research from people who had gone through the school, anybody that knew anything about all these different schools, is people just kept saying, go to Hack Reactor. If you can get into Hack Reactor, go to Hack Reactor. There's no sort of option any other way. Find a way to get the money, find a way to go.
So have you seen military veterans come through the program and had interactions with their time and experience here?
I definitely have, yeah. We've had a number of veterans come through, and honestly, I think they are uniquely prepared for some of the challenges of Hack Reactor.
Really?
Yeah, the hours here, as I've mentioned, are really long, and the program is intense. People are in kind of close quarters for 11 hours a day, which can get hairy, right? But I think military veterans—
Working in small teams.
Working in pairs, working in small teams, doing individual work as well. And I think the veterans that come through, at least in my experience, have been particularly well suited for the intensity of the work and being very self-motivated. Our program requires a tremendous amount of autonomy. And we tell students that from the beginning, but they don't always know exactly what they're getting into. And I think our veterans actually have a greater insight into what it means to be both a great member of a team and someone who is personally motivated and driven to succeed.
So what sort of advice would you offer for someone who's preparing for the program, or maybe they're a year or two out from potentially making a transition from the military to go into a course of instruction like this?
Yeah. Well, we call this boot camp, right?
Yeah.
And so I think in some
ways— You mentioned off camera, it's a little bit like a submarine in that—
Yeah, it kind of is. You're kind of trapped, well, maybe that's too hard a word, but you're in the space for so many hours a day with the same people over and over, and people bond here.
Oh, for sure.
In the ways that I've heard that people bond in the military as well, and just that sort of intense environments. So in some ways, probably the military prepares people really well for this experience. Other things I recommend, love it. Find a passion for coding and for technology, because that's something that keeps people going through the hardest parts of this program, and I think probably through the hardest parts of the work as well.
I'm Mike Slaw, a former Navy EOD officer. When I was transitioning, I was looking at technology companies, but there wasn't any way to try it out to see if the industry would be a good fit. The truth is, tech companies are eager to evaluate military backgrounds for ops and project management roles. And for the first time ever, there's a program that connects both sides. I started Shift to find pathways for vets into high-growth companies. This fall, we've arranged internships at some of the most interesting companies in Silicon Valley. You can actually start participating in internships before you ever even leave the military. We're opening programs in new cities soon, but help us spread the word about this. You don't have to know how to code. We're looking for people who are interested in using technology to solving some of the world's most difficult problems. This is the program that I wish existed when I transitioned out of the military, so I could try something on a non-traditional path. It's here now, so join us this fall.
Boys, girls, I know it's tough, but believe me when I tell you that somewhere in the world somebody cares. So even if you're not getting a care package or a letter from home, believe me when I tell you that there's thousands of people that care about you and support what you're doing overseas.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because what you do is so incredible and so inspiring, and it's just, I can't thank you enough, and it's fantastic, so thank you.
I just like all the service members and people out there who have given up their daily lives to be out there working for us, to know how much it is. We really appreciate what it is they're doing out there, and because of what they're doing, we get to enjoy our freedoms here and get to live in such a great place and really have such a great country, and it makes us very proud. We're very proud of them.
Thank you for your service throughout all these years, and then keep on doing what you're doing. I know it's a hard thing to do, not being able to see your family, but
thank you so much for protecting us and risking so much just to protect your country.
I know that it's one of the toughest jobs to ever have, to serve our country and to sacrifice their time, their life to just be away. Your service is greatly appreciated. We are so, I am so grateful for what you do for me and my family, keeping us safe.
Thank you for fighting the good fight, for taking care of us, keeping our borders safe, keeping our country safe, helping in crisis around the world. You know, it's a hard job. It's a hard job you've got, and you know, we're safe because of you.
To our heroes that are out there, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have done so much for us and sacrificed so much for us that we really appreciate that.
I hope that anyone who sees this overseas takes the message of today and sees all of these hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 volunteers who've given up their day today because they want to say thank you to you. They want to express their appreciation, their gratitude for all that you and your families are doing for us individually and us as a nation. And so the big message is thank you.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam. When I came home, I didn't know where to turn.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope. My wife is always there to remind me we have a life to live.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran, but after I got out, I spent 2 years alone and homeless.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was finding the support to get back on my feet. Now I'm getting things right with my family.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. I am a veteran. My victory is just enjoying each day.
For help with employment or obtaining your veterans' benefits, visit jobs.dav.org.
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about companies who are hiring veterans. And don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can find helpful tips and full episodes of the show. I'm Lauren Wanko. Join us again for another episode of Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.